The map of the Feroz Shah Kotla Palace tells the story of various dynasties juxtaposed one upon the other like a palimpsest of history right here in front of us in the heart of Delhi. The Tughlaq dynasty, also referred to as the Tughlaq dynasty, was a Muslim dynasty of Turco-Indian origin which ruled over the Delhi Sultanate in medieval India. Its reign started in 1320 in Delhi when Ghazi Malik assumed the throne under the title of Ghiyad al-Din Tughlaq. The dynasty ended in 1413 AD. From 1321 to 1325, Ghiyad al-Din Tughlaq reigned. From 1325 to 1351 was the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Feroz Shah Tughlaq reigned from 1351 to 1388, while Ghiyad-ud-Din Tughlaq Shah ruled from 1388 to 1413, and he was the last Tughlaq king. After Muhammad bin Tughlaq died, a collateral relative, Muhammad ibn Muhammad, ruled for less than a month. After Muhammad bin Tughlaq's 45-year-old nephew, Feroz Shah Tughlaq replaced him and assumed the throne. His rule lasted 37 years. The Feroz Shah Kotla, which you can see right now, was a fortress built by the Sultan Feroz Shah Tughlaq to house his version of Delhi city called Firozabad. A pristine polished sandstone Topra Ashokan pillar from the 3rd century BC rises from the palace's crumbling remains, one of the many pillars of Ashoka left by the Mauryan emperor. This and other ancient pillars have earned Feroz Shah Tughlaq and Delhi Sultanate some fame for its architectural patronage in spite of the wide and well-recorded destruction of Hindu and Jain temples and using their components in mosques. Ibn Battuta talks at length about Feroz Shah Tughlaq and his reign. The majestic Ashoka pillar stands out among the ruins of the Feroz Shah Kotla palace. But a way of seeing the modern Delhi city is also to look at the contrast. Taller than the Ashoka pillar stands that chimney from a factory nearby, which has been there in the skyline of this part of Delhi for almost 3 or 4 decades now. From another angle, we can see one more effect of modernity from within the Feroz Shah Kotla. Like I said, it has become a very famous cricket stadium here in Delhi. As you can see, those are the floodlights which give light to day and night matches. They can be seen from standing right within here, the Feroz Shah Kotla complex. As the day comes to close, we think of the 5 dynasties which ruled over the Delhi Sultanate sequentially. The Mamluk dynasty, which reigned from 1206 to 1290. The Khalji dynasty, which reigned from 1290 to 1320. The Tughlaq dynasty from 1320 to 1414. The Sayyid dynasty from 1414 to 1451. And the Lodi dynasty from 1451 to 1526. The Sultanate is noted for being one of the few states to repel an attack by the Mongol Empire and enthroned one of the few female rulers in Islamic history, Razia Sultana, who reigned from 1236 to 1240. As the air is filled by the words of the Azan, we remember those gone by. Qutb al-Din Aybak, a former Turkish Mamluk slave of Muhammad Ghori, was the first Sultan of Delhi, and his Mamluk dynasty conquered large areas of northern India. Afterwards, the Khalji dynasty was also able to conquer most of the central India, but both failed to conquer the whole of Indian subcontinent. The Sultanate reached the peak of its geographical reach during the Tughlaq dynasty, occupying most of the Indian subcontinent. This was followed by decline due to Hindu reconquests. States such as Vijayanagara Empire asserting independence and the new Muslim sultanates such as the Bengal Sultanate breaking off. During and in the Delhi Sultanate, there was a synthesis of Indian civilization with that of Islamic civilization, and the further integration of the Indian subcontinent with a growing world system and wider international networks spanning large parts of Afro-Eurasia, which had a significant impact on Indian culture and society as well as the wider world. The time of their rule included the earliest forms of Indo-Islamic architecture, increased growth rates in India's population and economy, and the emergence of the Hindi-Urdu language, which now is known as Hindustani. The Delhi Sultanate was also responsible for devastating invasions of India in the 13th and the 14th centuries. However, the Delhi Sultanate also caused large-scale destruction and desecration of temples in the Indian subcontinent. In 1526, the Sultanate was conquered and succeeded by the Mughal Empire, which, depending on the emperor, were sometimes benevolent rulers with the local Hindu communities and other communities, and sometimes not so much. Ibn Battuta had the great fortune of visiting these lands in the 14th century and writing about it for us to read, remember, and recall. At Feroz Kotla each Thursday, there are those who seek the blessings of the jinns.